Hello, everybody, and welcome to Just Have the Conversation. We are on episode number 7, and today we want to talk about something that happened last week, I believe, with a representative in New York, Representative Yoho, and AOC.
Yeah.
So we thought that this would be a really good conversation to have because we felt that her response to what happened was pretty amazing because she was able to talk about what happened, hold her ground in a very respectful way. And even though she didn't say any demeaning words like he said, she was able to kind of slap him in the face with kindness, which is something that I can appreciate because most people, including myself, if something like that were to happen, I would definitely have a very different reaction, and my words would not be as kind as the words that she used.
Right.
So just to kind of recap, he called her disgusting, called her crazy, called her dangerous, out of her mind, and beep, beep. There's 2 bad words, but he called her a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Which, I feel like as women, we've all been called all of those and more.
Yes.
But you would think that because they are in Congress, they would be held at a different light. Just the way and the wording was pretty demeaning. And yeah, I think he deserves more than just what she said.
So, yeah, I agree. One thing, well, there's so many different things rolled up into one here, but like one of the things that bothers me so much is that, as representatives, right? They represent people that voted for them, and they're supposed to, pass laws and legislation, do things to help the people, their constituents.
Right.
So, I mean, this is a job, right? They get paid very well to do their job.
Yes,
so to me, it's basic workplace harassment to approach someone and just go off on them, call them an effing B, and that whole list of other things that he said. I mean, there's no reason to attack someone like that. If you disagree, that's fine. Talk out your differences like a grown-up and like a professional. And I think that his behavior was unprofessional. It was out of line. It was inappropriate. It was immature, and his apology was pathetic. That wasn't an apology.
It was definitely not an apology.
No.
I think he made it more of, oh my God, look at me. Oh, he almost cried. I watched it. And I don't think not once did he say he apologized. He did say that he apologized for people thinking that that's what he meant.
Yeah.
Which to me is another way of disrespecting somebody.
Yeah.
You like you said it, if it would have happened in the workplace and somebody would have taken it to HR or something, it would definitely have consequences to it.
Right.
But, to what she said, she wanted to stand up for all the women that go through this and that kind of have to just laugh it off like, oh my God, but it could be something very traumatic and very scary because, as a woman, and she's not that big, she's, a little petite woman. And to see a man come at you, and when you feel that energy where he's hostile and he, that he's not coming to wish you something well, it's pretty scary. And it's
Right.
not just to her, it's to anybody that that would happen to. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh
So
yeah.
it broke my heart to see her speaking out about what happened. It made me realize how strong women are to be able to hold back emotion to get her point across.
Mhm.
And it was just so beautifully done where
Mhm.
he looks like an asshole.
Yeah, and yeah.
And that's exactly what he is. And you know like she said, you can have daughters, you can have a wife, and that doesn't make you a decent man.
Right. It doesn't.
So, it was crazy to see. I actually saw her response before I saw and I didn't see his apology, and then afterwards I went to go see what he had said in an apology, and it was crazy, but I hope something is being done to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Me too. And, I think bringing it to light like this helps because I'm sure things like this have happened before to other women in Congress, and other jobs. Well, we know it has. We know it has. I'm sure it's happened to you at work or just out and about, having a regular day. It's happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, you know, her response, I'm glad that it was well thought out and the way that she responded, because another issue is that if she would have like come back at him with the same energy and anger, then everyone would have said, oh, she's crazy,
Right.
women are too emotional and all of this,
Mm-hmm.
but yet he's the one that got emotional and went off on her,
Yeah.
because of his own insecurities and he can't control her. That's what it comes down to,
It's funny because I actually went to go watch another video where he is talking to somebody in the news, and they're interviewing him about what happened. And well, first of all, he denies saying any of the things that he said. And then, he said that he just was trying to tell her that what she stands for, because I guess she had said that if somebody shoplifts and they are doing it to feed their family, she wouldn't hold them against it,
Mm-hmm.
against that person, because they have no other way to feed their family. And he thought that that was putting out the wrong like the wrong information for the people of New York. That's basically telling them like, hey, you can go steal if your family is, poor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, that's what I told her, that was crazy. So, and I feel like that is a lot what happens when you bring things to light as a woman, because you're right, I've been through this. I had to sit down with people at work that had said something towards me that I knew wasn't right, and when I went to go approach it the right way, everything was turned around to, you heard it wrong, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't mean it like that. Well, maybe you're just too much in your feelings, and that's why you think it was said like that. And it's like, are you kidding me right now? Like, no. I know the difference between you calling me crazy and you telling me that what I'm doing, I'm crazy.
Exactly.
I'm not crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, it's funny because even with our friends right now, we talk about past relationships that we've had. And, our exes are like, oh, she's crazy, she's this, she's that. But at the same time, like, what did you do? Like, women don't just come out of nowhere. Like, you don't just wake up today and you're like, I'm gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's the narrative that like a lot of women have, where guys are just like, nah, women are crazy. No, we're
Yeah.
not.
Well, it's funny to me because it's like okay, who wants to, put that much energy into being crazy, right?
Right.
I think in general, everybody in general wants peace and
Right.
they want to be happy. So, why in the world would we just wake up, you know what? Today, I'm just going to go off on somebody.
But it's a stereotype, right? Like women are emotional, women are crazy, women, like it's just, it bothered me. Like watching him talk about what happened bothered me because it's
Yeah.
like, first of all, you're arguing with somebody that is literally younger than your daughter, your youngest daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you speak to your child? And why is this other person so different? Or are you that disrespectful to your family as well? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we had that
Yeah.
conversation.
And also, it's like a little glitch. Yeah, so this is how I see it. If to me, a real man is going to, talk to her in a professional manner and say, I think that your ideas are dangerous because X, Y,
Right.
and Z, right? And instead of just like slamming her and, verbally attacking her so aggressively, to me, it's like, okay, you're older, you've been doing this job longer. Why aren't you mentoring somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Why just like go off? It's just like so backwards to me the way the whole thing is.
Mm-hmm.
And, I know some people have that theory of, well, the way I treat my family is different because I love them. It's a relationship. But it should be, you treat human beings with respect.
Respect is respect. It doesn't matter. Like, I can meet somebody 2 minutes from now and I'm going to be respectful. And if they
Mm-hmm.
say something that I don't like, guess what? I don't really know you. I'm just going to keep it pushing. And if it's
Right.
something that I do talk to on a daily basis, you know, there's a lot. And this is something that just started happening with, the whole COVID. People are posting more. So you start seeing some of your friends that you thought you knew posting some things and you're like, where did that come from? You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it's finding that space within yourself to say, not everybody is going to think the same way that I think.
Right.
Now, if it's something said towards me that hurts me personally, then I'm going to have a conversation with that person. And I'm not going to come in and say, hey, oh my God, what you said. No, I'm going to be like, hey, what you said was hurtful because it was towards me. And I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's finding that balance where you respect people enough that they can post whatever the hell they want to post.
Yeah.
It's who they are as a person. That's their belief system.
Right.
Why, my dad actually, we had a conversation with everything that happened, and he was telling me that he has learned that when it comes to friendship, you don't talk about religion or politics because it could be something that can hurt you guys' relationship. And he's like, when you learn to respect somebody's boundaries, that's when you actually know what peace is. They can say whatever they want to say, and if it's going to affect you, you're the person that's going to let that happen. And he's like, and my dad is so chill, Wendy, like nothing bothers him. There's been situations that I'm like, Dad, you need to say something, and he's like, for what? And I'm just like, when can I become like you? Because sometimes I react and it's just like, oh, you said this. Well, you know what? This is what I think, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, at the end of the day, are you going to change their mind? And I'm like, no. And he's like, are they going to change yours? And I'm like, no. And he's like, so then why are you fighting with them? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel you. Finding that respect. I feel with them, of course, is different. They're Congress, there's bills, there's matters that are happening in in their sector. They have to be able to have a civil conversation
Right.
where both of them are speaking their mind and their belief.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to come to an understanding where it's like, of course, if I feel like it's something wrong, I'm going to talk to you about it, and I'm going to let you know exactly how I feel. But use the right words. Use the right energy.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you start being rude, once you start, being unethical, that's when this happens.
Yeah.
And this is going to hurt him in the long run, because at the end of the day, I'm thinking as his wife or his daughters, when he gets home, I'm going to be like, of course, in the media, I'm going to be like, oh, this is my husband. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be your ride or die. But when we get home, I'm going to be like, oh, really? That's how you feel? Like, that's how you talk to people? You know what I mean? I hope that that's the conversation that was had when he got to be home. Because, yes, if you have 2 daughters, you have a wife, what gives you the right to sit here and speak to somebody else like that? And I feel like AOC was so right. By talking to her the way that he did, he opened up the door for his daughters and for his wife to be disrespected. Because guess what? Somebody's going to say something to them. And when you come and say something back, they're going to be like, you did it, why can't I?
Right. Exactly. And when you're in a position like that, you're supposed to be setting the tone. It's a lot of responsibility. And if you can't handle it, then step off.
Then get out.
Right. If it's getting to him, maybe he needs to step down.
And
I'm okay with that.
No, seriously.
Seriously.
It's maybe like old mentality, because, unfortunately, it's been a pattern where men feel, especially men in power, feel that they can talk to women, down to women. And if that's the way that he thinks women are supposed to be treated, that's cool. But there's a new wave coming in. Like, I feel like AOC is the person that's coming in. There's going to be younger generations that are going to be coming in. And actually, I was listening to a YouTube video, and there was this older lady that, she was saying, like, the Congress is going to have to get used to listening to women speak out and listening to women be in power, because they don't know that yet. It's still fairly new. So, the locker room talk it was the normal, and women that were there were taught and were told, oh, just brush it off.
Right.
Just, oh,
It's not the locker room.
Girl, yes.
Okay. It's Congress. That's my answer to them. It's the boardroom. It's, the bank, wherever you're working. It's not a locker room. A locker room, fine. Go in the locker room.
Where all the men can hear you.
Right. And do whatever, say whatever, all of that. That's fine. But leave it there. So locker room talk should be left in the locker room. Do you want to have certain conversations with your fellow guys? Whatever. Women have their conversations with other women.
We do.
That's what nail salons are for. But
or living rooms with no guys around.
Because everyone has to vent, right? Everyone has their own things to work through. But when it comes to your job, if you are, a representative in government, if you are a police officer, if you are a doctor or a teacher, anything else, that language, that behavior does not belong there, whether you're a man or a woman. And I think that is what's happening is that the men that are used to behaving that way and think it's okay, more women are starting to come in to those positions and those jobs, and it's making them uncomfortable because they've been behaving that way for so long, and now, they have to change because they're being held accountable.
Right.
But they should have been behaving that way in the first place.
Preach.
Yeah. And another thing.
True. It all starts at home as well. We always say it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you are a child and you keep hearing this over and over and over at your house, then that's the type of man that you're going to be.
Yeah.
If you are a woman and you are used to, hearing this type of thing, you start thinking it's okay. And I think that's the narrative that all women, and this is like a unit, all women all around the world need to understand that we cannot be disrespected in any type of way.
Yes.
And feel like we can't say anything about it.
Right.
Everybody. Because unfortunately, and this is something that I watched on Instagram. There was this girl that was talking about, she comes out in a show, it's called Basketball Wives. And there's a rapper that got shot in the foot, and they were asking her about it, like what she thought happened.
It was a female rapper that got shot, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was saying, she responded to, oh, that's the type of love that I want to have, where we're in a heated argument and I want to get out of the car, and you're like, oh, you're not getting out of the car, and he shoots her in the leg to keep her in the car. Like, I'm down for that. And it's like, hold up.
That's not healthy.
Wait a minute. Like, what type of relationship are you in or are used to being in that makes you think that it's okay for you to say that it's okay for another woman to get hurt?
Right.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of women out there that feel like being disrespected, being hurt, being put down is something normal.
Right.
And that's something that I feel like me and you, Bloom and then Flourish, the Wild Women Tribe, we're trying to change that. And we're trying to start a new conversation where we are bringing different guidelines and different ways of looking at ourselves, where we are saying no more. This can't happen, because at the end of the day, every single person needs to have respect.
Right. They deserve it.
We deserve it. Everybody deserves it. Nobody deserves to be disrespected. I don't care if you're a child. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care if you're trans, gay. It doesn't matter. We all deserve to be spoken to, even in situations where we are upset or the other person's upset. There needs to be a level of respect that doesn't get crossed.
Right.
And when it does, people need to know that there's going to be consequences for it.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to do. This is what this whole conversation is about. We can joke about, there's funny things that we say here and there, but at the end of the day, what we're trying to say is respect women, respect men, respect trans, respect gay, respect every single person, respect children, like respect people. Why is it so hard for that to be the normal?
Well, unfortunately, there are some people out there that were not taught that, and they don't respect themselves.
True.
They don't love themselves. They have self-hatred. They're trying to get approval. Maybe their parents didn't give them enough positive attention growing up, right? And so they just lash out at everybody else because they think that's the way they're supposed to be, unfortunately. But I think that with what you just said, if more and more people, especially women, because women have been, pushed down a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
We have. It's a fact. And I think as more and more women speak up and set those boundaries and say, no, that's not going to work for me. I'm not going to let you talk to me that way. I'm not going to let you treat me that way. I deserve better. I'm worthy of being respected, right? And behaving in a respectful way as well. Because you can't expect someone to treat you with respect if you're, telling them to go F themselves and everything else. They're going to be like, wait, you're not modeling what you want me to do to you. So step back. But I think that as more and more women see that, that it's okay to have that strength and to stand up for themselves and to have that confidence, I think that it will change. I think that old school way of thinking, it's going to end up in the trash pretty soon.
I think it's about breaking chains. I feel like, and I have to say this, in my country, in El Salvador, it's normal for guys to cheat. Even if you're married, you don't leave them. It's normal for you see it a lot where women are being abused and they're getting beat up and they stay with this person because this is what they're supposed to do. And that was a mentality, and I'm telling you, like, this is the mentality that a lot of people from third world countries have. And it's something that I love and appreciate about my parents and myself, to be able to be grown now and pass it down. Like, to me, I was the person that broke the chains for my generation after, for my generation and after. Like, Samara is going to be able to know that, hey, somebody's beating you, somebody's hitting you, somebody's degrading you, somebody even yells at you, get up and bounce. You don't need to be there.
All right.
There's something that's not the normal. And I feel like that's, it's hard. It's hard for people from a different country to come in and, they felt like this has been happening to them for such a long time. It's normal to them.
Right.
And this is why we are having this conversation, because we also want to say it's not the normal. The normal is for you to be safe. The normal is for you to feel peace, for you to feel protected, for you to be able to get up and be strong enough to know that if you are in a situation where you are being hurt, there are people that are willing to help you. And there are things that you need to do in order to walk out of it and be so much better.
Right.
You have to stand up.
Yes.
You have to have, just like AOC, I'm telling you, I could just like feel that lion inside of her where she was just like, you're not going to do this. I'm standing up for all women. I loved it. I feel like all women should feel that. If you're ever in a situation, and it's happened to me before, where I was in a situation where I knew that what happened wasn't right, and I ended up leaving, but I didn't say anything. And it's one thing that's always haunted me, because I'm like, damn, it happened when I was younger, but I'm like, I wish I would have said something, because now this person got away with what happened. And I feel like as women, if you let it happen to you, it's going to keep happening to other women as well. So we have to protect ourselves when it comes to somebody doing something wrong to us. Stand up. There, you have that. Every single person, not just women, every single person has that fire in them, where you can stand up for yourself and you can demand for things to change and change your entire life.
Right.
You don't have to be, you're going to be scared, because it's a situation that you've never been in before, or you have been in for such a long time that you don't know how to react to it. But being scared can't be something that stops you from moving to a better life.
Exactly. Well said, my friend.
I think we're both very passionate about this, and I feel like that's why we decided to have this conversation, because you're such a strong person. You're such a strong role model. This is why me and you partnered up. you know, because we want to see a change. We want to see, you know, we're about everybody having the power that they need to have. But
Yeah.
we love to empower women.
Yes.
That's our thing.
Yes.
So I feel like, you know, you text me and I was like, I was about to text you because yes, we need to have this conversation and it's a conversation that needs to keep going
Mm-hmm.
because God, women are so amazing. We are just
We are. And I wish every woman like felt that within themselves. I wish every woman, you know, could just like wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, man, I'm just ready for today because I got this.
yes, yeah, I love it. I love meeting women that are like that. I love fiery women. And when I say fiery, it's just like passion, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's another thing. Why do we need to explain words that describe, yes, we're passionate, yes, we're fiery, yes, we're emotional. Guess what? If we weren't
Mm-hmm.
emotional, this world would be chaotic, even worse than what it is right now.
Right. Right.
We fuel love, we fuel passion.
I love that.
I'm telling you, girl, we could talk about this for hours if we really wanted to, but
We'll do part 2.
we have to. We
Yeah.
are powerful. If you are in a situation where you feel like you can't get out of and you need help, we are definitely here. We will
Mm-hmm.
figure something out to help you out. There's numbers that you can call. We'll put links to it.
Mm-hmm.
And just know that you're just the most beautiful thing that walks the earth. Every single one of
Exactly.
us empower each other, help each other out, and stand up. Stand up to people that think that they can belittle you. And this goes to every single person that's watching. I don't care if you're man, woman, whatever. Stand up. If you are being hurt, if you are being put in a situation where you know you don't deserve to be in, stand up and just walk away. And you are strong. You are strong. And you're going to get
Yeah. Yes.
so more for sure. We're going to do part 2.
Yes.
But
And 3 and 4.
yes. So next time, guys, comment, like, share. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about. We're here.
Mm-hmm.
We love every person. So have a good day.